Hello again from my front porch. Today I want to talk to you about changes, about how we can benefit from changes and how we need to be ready for change all the time. Because sometimes we get to be in the driver's seat. Sometimes we get to decide, I'm going to change, you decide I want to get healthier. And so you start changing your diet, you start exercising and all, and then you see your body shape changing and evolving. And in those instances, you have a great deal of control over that. There are other times, though, where unexpected things happen. That is a change, where you don't have control. And then there's the hybrid, where there's things you did that create an unexpected change. But the point is, we're always changing. Life never stays the same. So there was yesterday, you're here today, and then there's tomorrow. Who were you yesterday? Who are you going to be tomorrow? You get to decide that to a large extent. But there are circumstances that happen around you that can lead you down certain paths. So let me give you a for instance. Today, I went to the eye doctor. Now, I hadn't been to the eye doctor in a couple of years, and it was actually a different eye doctor at the time, too. And that's a whole other story that I don't even need to get into. But last time I was at the eye doctor was before I was pronounced type 2 diabetic. Now, it was like a week or two before, but still, it was before. So when I was at the eye doctor last time, there was no test done about diabetes or anything like that. It was just, here's the condition of your eyes, and based on that, here's your prescription, here's your contacts, have a nice day. Well, then a couple weeks after that appointment, I was at my medical doctor, and he says, oh, hey, Paul, guess what? Everything's good about you except your blood sugar way too high, and you're type 2 diabetic. And so then I take steps to work on that. I change my diet up. I try to be more mindful about stuff. And now I've brought that down under control so that the last time that I was at the doctor, my A1C was where it started at 14, way back when I was first diagnosed, was down below 6, like 5.8, was it? 5.7, maybe 5.6. Anyways, down in that range down there. They said it was technically outside the diabetic range now. Of course, all I have to do is, stop paying attention to my diet. It goes right back up. So don't want that to happen. But anyway, so I go to my eye doctor today and I point out to him that I am diabetic now. And he's like, oh, okay, well, thanks for telling me. We'll make sure that we incorporate that with the eye exam here and do stuff. He said, but how's it going? I said, well, I got to tell you, I've got these contacts that I've been wearing for the last couple of years. The supply is pretty much run out now, but I've been wearing them, and I'm a little disappointed because I don't feel like I'm seeing as well with them now as I was when I first got them. And he goes, oh, okay, well, let's take a look at that. Now, I'm assuming it's because I've gotten older and my eyesight is just, going downhill. And I'm bracing myself for the bad news of what he's going to say. So he starts doing the exam. We do the whole diabetic thing too, and he comes back to me with a couple of really interesting details, really exciting facts. One, he doesn't find any trace of diabetes in my eyes. That's good. The second thing is, he says the reason my contacts aren't working as well for me is because they're not the right prescription anymore. See, and I'm like, yeah, here it comes. How much stronger are they going to have to be? And it's the opposite. It's exactly the opposite. See, when I got the contacts I was wearing, my blood sugar was way up here. And that impacted my eyes. It impacted my vision. Now my blood sugar is down in the managed normal range. And so that has also impacted my vision. It has improved my vision. To the point that he said the reason my contacts weren't working is because one eye needs back down 4 notches and the other eye needs back down 5 notches. They were way too powerful for my eyes. And that's why they weren't working as well for me. And I was even noticing when I was wearing my lineless bifocal glasses, the upper part wasn't working as well. But if I tilt my head back and look through the bifocal part, I could see much clearer through those. And he said that's because those were the ones that weren't as powerful. That they were not, and so that's why they were helping me even see distance better with them that way. And so he gave me, I'm wearing new contacts now that are more to this prescription, and it's like, wow, it's amazing. Yeah, I can see really good. So that's phenomenal. But see, it's an example of where I set out to change my diet, and for the diabetes thing, because I didn't want to have to do insulin shots and all that kind of stuff. But I wasn't even thinking about how would it in fact affect my vision, or if it would, I certainly wouldn't have predicted it impacting as much as it has. That's pretty dramatic. 4 and 5 steps backwards on the power of the vision correction. That's pretty big. But and it reminds me that when I was a kid, I had a love-hate relationship with math. When I was in about 4th grade, before that I was like, okay, good, along with my friend. But then about 4th grade, I slowed down. I wasn't able to keep up with my classmates on math. And so come math time, they would actually take me out of the classroom and I would go to this other area where I'd basically do a remedial math thing. They call it Systems 80. I don't remember what it all was. In my mind, I remember it as being like computer-based flashcard kind of thing with big buttons that you push for right answers and things. I don't remember what it was. I'm sure it was a very good program. But I was in 4th grade. I don't remember a lot about it now. But that's where I was then. By 6th grade, the switches flipped. And now, not only was I comprehending math, but I was comprehending it better than anybody else. So I actually completed the entire math workbook that we had ahead of the rest of my class, to the point that my teacher was having to come up with additional assignments for me, other worksheets, other math problems that were more advanced even than what a lot of my classmates were doing. I was excelling beyond them. I get to 7th and 8th grade and I'm put in the talented and gifted program because of my math comprehension, because I'm this math whiz kid who's doing all this stuff. Well, then come freshman year, they put me in Algebra 1 and then it's Algebra 2 and then beyond to trigonometry and geometry after that. Algebra 1, not so bad, but towards the end of Algebra 1, I begin to plateau. And as I'm going into Algebra 2, I start to struggle again, and it kind of goes down. And then we get into, after that was trigonometry and I'm barely holding my own. I'm barely staying above water. I graduate high school, go to Iowa State. Iowa State, they give you an exam before you come in to help determine certain things, and one of them is a math exam. And the math exam, you choose. They have a menu of math exams to choose from, and you choose based on what your experience was from what you took in high school. So the best one I could choose was one that talked about Algebra 1 and 2, which had been 3 or 4 years before that now. And so here I am now working on trying to take this exam on stuff that I learned 3 or 4 years before that didn't go so well. So they wanted to put me in remedial math so I could take one math class at Iowa State. So I go from here to here to here to here. So again, it's interesting how we evolve over time. The point being, don't settle with where you're at now. Life keeps happening. Life keeps changing. Keep moving forward. Don't give up. If you don't like where you're at, change it. You can control a lot of that. And even if you can't, recognize tomorrow is going to give you new stuff. Take advantage of it. Make it your own and own your change. And with that, I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.